Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Office Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of June 21. So under the date, we are going to discuss the topics of antimicrobial resistance, that is AMR, methanol poisoning, limbless amphibian, Isram Portal, and sustainable development report. These are the topics we are going to cover today. In this, our first topic is about antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobials, including antibiotics, antivirals, antifungals, and antiparasitics, are medicines used to prevent and treat infections in humans, animals, and plants. Here, AMR occurs when bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites change over time and no longer respond to medicines. This makes infections increasingly difficult or impossible to treat, increasing the risk of disease spread, severe illness, and death. They can spread from person to person or between people and animal, including food of animal origin. The rapid global spread of multi and pan-drug resistant bacteria, superbugs, is particularly concerning. As a result, WHO recently identified AMR as a major public health threat. Now, what is the main drivers of this AMR included? The misuse and overuse of antimicrobials, also the lack of access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, that is called as wash, for both humans and animals, poor infection and disease prevention and control in healthcare facilities and farms, also poor access to quality affordable medicines, vaccines, and diagnostics. With that, lack of awareness and knowledge also brings a main driver for AMR, also the lack of enforcement of legislation. Now, what are the issues have been seen with this antimicrobial resistance? It is critically to acknowledge that over 50 to 70% of antibiotic prescriptions by doctors are deemed unnecessary and irrational. One of the main reasons for the unnecessary antibiotic usage is the unavailability of laboratory facilities to make a correct diagnosis of bacterial infections. The other main reason for unnecessary antibiotic prescriptions by doctors is the pressure from patients to receive antibiotics. Patients wrongly believe that a course of antibiotics is a quickly remedy for a fever episode of any cause. Now, what are the needs of this antimicrobial resistance? AMR is a social economic problem and combating it requires a multi-pronged approach. The measures include improving public health, infrastructure, sanitation facilities, and governance in order to decrease the transmission of infections and therefore the dependence on antibiotics. Reformations to physicians, prescribing practice and mandating that hospitals report rates. In order to reduce the spread of these infections, healthcare facilities must follow the correct standards for infection prevention. There must be a system where all hospital report rates of hospital acquired infections of the state governments and the data should be made public. Other essential measures including rationalizing antibiotic use in hospitals, banning the growth, promotional use of antibiotics in poultry farms, fish farms, and agriculture based on the already existing rules are of paramount importance. Now with this we have to know about what is Amrit and what are the facilities and its implementation seen in Kerala. Kerala high doctor patient ratio, high literacy facilities, enforcement of this rule. An informed populace is more likely to understand the importance of regulations and adhere to them, facilitating smoother execution and compliance. Also, Kerala will do well if it demands hospitals to disclose the incidence of hospital-acquired infections. Also, it supports and promotes the development of new antibiotics, diagnostics, and vaccines by entrepreneurs. Karnataka and Maharashtra-based startups have achieved remarkable progress in this domain. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about methanol poisoning. Before knowing about methanol, we have to know about alcohol. Alcohol is the content of beverages refers to a group of organic compounds known as alcohols that contains hydroxyl, that is minus OH, functional group attached to a carbon atom. Ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, is the most common type of alcohol used for recreational and social purpose. Now we have to know how alcohol performing in the human body. The body, it is metabolized into liver and stomach by alcohol dehydrogenase, that is ADH enzymes. ADH enzymes to oxidylate. Aldehyde dehydrogenase, that is ALDH enzymes, transform the acetaldehyde into acetate. Adverse effects of alcohol consumption are due to acetaldehyde. Long-term use leads to dependence, heightens the risk of some cancers and heart disease, and may eventually cause death. Now we have to know about with this spurious liquor and methanol poisoning. In every death due to consumption of spurious liquor in India, methanol has been the killer. Spurious liquor is characterized by liquid mixture containing methanol along with ethanol. Methanol is added in the liquid to strengthen the intoxicating effects and or to increase the bulk volume. Now we have to know about how the methanol becomes the poisoning. Once ingested, methanol is metabolized in the liver by ADH enzymes. It forms formaldehyde, and that formaldehyde convert into the formic acid. The accumulation of formic acid leads to a condition called metabolic acidosis. Formic acid also interferes with an enzyme called cytochrome oxidase. Formic acid also interferes with an enzyme called cytochrome oxidase, which in turn disturbs cells' ability to use oxygen and leads to formation of lactic acid, contributing to acidosis. Also, the formic acid would have begun for accumulating in dangerous amounts. Now we have to know about methanol. Methanol is commonly produced by combining carbon monoxide and hydrogen in the presence of copper and zinc oxide as catalysts at 50 to 100 atm of pressure and 250 degrees Celsius. Methanol has several industrial applications, including the production of acetic acid, formaldehyde, and aromatic hydrocarbons. It is also used as a solvent as antifreeze. Now, what are the regulations of this methanol? There are Schedule 1 of the Manufacture, Storage and Import Hazardous Chemical Rules 1989, also the Food Safety Standards and Alcoholic Beverages Regulation 2018, also Tamil Nadu Denatured Spirit, Methyl Alcohol and Varnish French Polish Rules 1959. These are some of the regulations. Now what are the treatments have been seen with this methanol poisoning? The treatment is paramedical grade ethanol. Fomepizole should be administered. Also healthcare workers may recommend dialysis. So these are under the topic of methanol poisoning. Our next topic is about limbless amphibian. Now, the limbless amphibian has been added to the fauna of Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve. The Assam wildlife official said the heteropologist recorded the striped caecilian in the tiger reserve for the first time during a rapid herpetofauna survey conducted from June 14 to 17. So, we have to know about the reptiles and amphibians, collectively called as heterofauna, are the least studied but most vulnerable to climate change. They are the indicator species for the environment and play a crucial role in controlling the pests. These are the limbs amphibians that spend most of their lives under the soil. They are the least studied amphibian species. They are ancient species with presence holds critical linkages to evolution and intercontinental speciation. So that's all from this topic. And before that, we have to know that the diverse ecosystem of Kaziranga, comprising floodplains, wetlands, grasslands, and hill tracts on the periphery, provides an ideal habitat of herpetofauna. The tiger reserve houses 24 species of amphibians and 74 species of reptiles. 24 amphibians and 74 reptiles. It has a home of 21 of 29 species of tortoise and freshwater. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about Isram Portal. In this, we have to know about what is Isram Portal. It was launched by Ministry of Labor and Employment in the year 2020. 21 for the registration and creation of a comprehensive national database of unorganized workers. It allows an unorganized worker to register himself or herself on the portal on self-declaration basis under 400 occupations in 30 board occupation sectors. It is the one-stop solution. One-stop solution for unorganized workers of the country. The registration in the portal is fully Aadhaar verified and Aadhaar seeded. Any unorganized worker can register himself or herself on the portal on a self-declaration basis. The ministry aims to facilitate access to various social security schemes being implemented by various ministries departments for the benefits of unorganized workers through the Isram Portal. The portal is presently integrated with National Career Service, that is NCS, and the Skill India Digital Hub, that is Skill India Digital Hub, SIDH, My Scheme Portal, and Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Portal, that is PMSYM. So these are the schemes. So that's all from this topic. Sustainable Development Report. It reviews the progress made each year on the Sustainable Development Goals since the adoption by the 193 UN member states in 2015. It is annually published by Sustainable Development Solution Network, that is SDSN. Now we have to know about 2024 Sustainable Development Report. This have been published on the eve of the UN Summit of the Future. The SDR 2024 recommends a set of key reforms to the UN systems to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The theme for this year is the SDG and the UN Summit of the Future. This is the theme of this year. This year's edition also presents the new Index of Countries' Support for UN-based multilateralism and discusses long-term pathways to attain sustainable food and land developments. This year, Finland, Sweden, and Denmark is in top ranking. The pace of progress varies widely across the country groups. The Nordic countries continue to lead on SDG achievement, with BRICS demonstrating strong progress and poor and vulnerable nations lagging for behind. Sustainable development remains a long-term investment challenge. Reforming the global financial architecture is more urgent than ever. The SDG targets related to food and land system are particularly off track. The SDR presents new fable, that is FABLE, which stands for Food, Agriculture, Biodiversity, Land and Energy Pathways to support sustainable food and land system. Now we have to know about what is the Sustainable Development Solution Network. So the UNSDSN works under the auspices of the UN Secretary General to mobilize the world universities, think tanks and national laboratories for actions on the SDGs and Paris Agreement, empower societies through free online education and translate scientific evidence and ideas into solutions and accountability. It was established in the year of 2012. So that's all from this topic. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.